Hello, everyone, and welcome to what's going to be a lightning round version of the Sunday News. Partially for a couple reasons. Number one, we just finished doing an hour and a half shooting with Doomtrooper Radio, so make sure you go check that out. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, and link down below. Number two, we have a Pulp City draft that's going to be happening tonight. So I got to go make sure all my equipment is moved from this room into the other room to be able to take care of that. And number three, it's the 19th of the month. Like, anything that was exciting for the month has already happened.
You already know about, yeah.
And
month-long sales and stuff. We already told you about them.
And the stuff that is happening for May that I know about, there's no reason for me to tell you yet because you can't take advantage of it, so I'm going to save that for next week. So basically,
really, we're just holding out on you.
Yeah, I am. It's business. It is what it is. So, but again, I'm the second-class elitist. This is
Ellie Alcatraz, Damsel of Decay.
Oh, that's a new one. I like that.
Thank you.
Damsel of Decay. Yeah. Or, just nickname you Double D. That'll work too. All right, so what do we got going on right now?
All right. First, we want to make a little correction to what we told you last week about the 15mm sale.
Oh, yeah. And Gavin, I apologize. I made a mistake because our friend in the UK, Gavin, apparently does everything, but he doesn't spread out over a couple different sites.
In little tiny pieces.
So, very tiny pieces, 15mm pieces.
Yeah.
So I had mentioned a sale for 15mm.co.uk. That sale is still on, and it's great, and you should buy stuff. However, when talking about that sale, I showed you this beautiful, lovely piece of terrain. Now, here's where I made a mistake. I had the manufacturer correct. I had the website wrong.
Okay.
This is from another site called The Ion Age, spelled theionage.com.
Okay. Nothing weird.
Yeah, pretty simple. If you have trouble spelling it, link below. Also running pretty much the same sale right now, which is to say 15% off through the rest of April. 11 days. Go order there too. 10% goodie bag, 10% of your order, just like we discussed the joys of last week. If you missed last week's show, it's like the fourth segment, so go check that. And this piece of terrain is part of their terrain sets, which you can get from the Ion Age, not from 15mm.co.uk. And you can buy the individual pieces at 15% off. You can buy the terrain kits, which are already, I think, 10% off.
Okay.
At 15% off.
Nice.
And then get a 10% goodie bag.
So, what's the difference between what 15mm.co and Ion Age carry by and large?
Good answer. Good question on that. 15mm.co.uk has wide ranges that are useful for a lot of different 15mm game applications.
Okay.
Unlike 28mm and 32, a lot of times it's, I like this rule set, I like these models.
Okay.
Let me buy these models from this company and use them with this company's rule set.
Okay.
Okay? It's more of an open environment.
Okay.
And you can do that with the stuff on the Ion Age page. However, the stuff on the Ion Age page is designed specifically for a rule set, ironically enough, called the Ion Age.
Hey.
So the units and armies that are there have a very specific storyline. They have a specific look and feel for a specific sci-fi setting.
Okay. So almost basically everything there is sci-fi.
Yes.
Do they both still have like terrain pieces there, right? This is going to be the sci-fi specialty. Yeah,
this is the Ion Age terrain set, as opposed to other terrain sets that are available from 15mm.co.uk, including sci-fi terrains.
And also has some sci-fi, but not as much as Ion Age.
Yeah.
So if what you really love is sci-fi, you're still going to want to check out both, but Ion Age is going to have more of that.
Yeah, oddly enough, 15mm.co.uk has a larger spectrum, so it actually has more armies, even in sci-fi.
Okay.
But the Ion Age, the stuff has a very specific look and feel.
Right, so it's going to be a little less generic if you, you could check out and see if you like the look of the Ion Age stuff. It's not going to be as generic sci-fi as some of the stuff on 15mm.co. But if you want something a little more specific looking, then that would be a good place to check out.
Yeah, Ion Age is pretty much very much far future sci-fi space opera, whereas 15mm.co is a blend of near tech, future tech, far tech, but all with a little bit more of a real world acumen as far as the armor and the vehicles and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But both are good sites. Gavin is a gentleman, and he does a great job with both of them. I have never been unhappy with any pieces that I've gotten from him or any conversations that I've had with him online. If you have questions about 15mm, go to his blog as well. Feel free to ask him any questions. He is a true gentleman in the hobby and is definitely somebody that you want to be able to talk to. So
now,
that's taken care of.
Are both of those sales doing free worldwide shipping?
Yes, they're also both free worldwide shipping. Also, Ion Age does something unique, which is every month they have a free model.
Okay.
Which is usually I'm not going to say limited availability, because you can also then get it again at the end of the year in a bulk of these are all 12 months worth of models.
Okay, but
kind
it
of thing, but
somewhat limited.
It's harder to get. It's not normally just I can just go get the SKU.
Okay.
And the one this month is a female model from the Shia Khan, the Shia Khan being one of the specific looking armies.
Okay.
Really good figure, by the way. I'm definitely going to order at least one more of those so I can get the free model.
So you can get the Shia Khan. So cool. All right, so that's great. As Deuce mentioned just a few moments ago, we are soon going to see, or is it already up? We are going to see Doomtrooper Radio, Show 21.
Woohoo! Well, yeah, so if you watch the live feed, you already know what's happening.
Gotcha.
If you haven't watched the live feed, you have to wait for, I believe it's Mike Sanders is the one that does the rendering, to get the rendered and back up on the YouTube channel. The way that they do their videos is actually a little bit easier for them to put up than us.
Okay.
Because of the method that they're using, because everything goes right through, Google Chat, and it's nice and easy. It's already formatted, and no editing. So the downside is there's no editing. So,
whoops.
So certain things happen in the show, and when they happen, it's live.
There it is. And
I don't trust these guys enough to do that, so I make sure that I can edit stuff. I need the button.
The button.
Yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we haven't invented the little mini bubble time machine.
No, we don't have a buffer yet.
Because that would be great.
But yeah, it was a good Doomtrooper show. You had all three of the Doomtroopers there, plus myself and Big Jim, discussing a lot of things about Dark Legion. So if you currently play Warzone and you play Dark Legion and you want to know more about your army, it's a good show. If you play Warzone and you don't play Dark Legion and you want a better idea of what you're facing, it was a good show.
You want to know how to beat Dark Legion.
And if you play any other sci-fi, dark, gothic horror type games where you might be interested in undead and monsters and necro-alien beast things, it was a good show, and you're going to get some good information out of it. Doomtrooper guys, I love watching their show. They're always entertaining. It's always a great show, even when they put my head up everywhere and have me then saying things to Will Wheaton, who fortunately has not been available for comment.
Just remember, if it's just his head, it's not necessarily him saying it.
Right.
That's how it works.
I do generally have a body.
Right.
So, if you see the this without the this, it ain't me.
Okay.
Alright.
But yeah, no, there's definitely some good stuff on there about the Dark Legion generals, heroes.
Yep.
And the kinds of things that the army's, good at and whatnot. So
dirty tricks.
Well,
lots of them.
Hello. What?
Yeah. Bad guys, dirty tricks. Expect it.
Bad guys. What? Hello.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So, as for some new stuff, in case any of you haven't noticed yet, Dropzone Commander, there have been some new releases that came out very, very recently. Namely, some really nice command units, some HQs, some big, gorgeous. I think they released one for everybody. Yeah.
They're actually spinning around for a second pass on everybody at this point, which is good. The basically, if you play Dropzone Commander but you don't know what the named character HQs are, it's the idea that you can just field a generic character that has the generic attributes of a command unit in the book, or you can field this specific model, which means you have this specific commander leading your force, which gives you these specific rules. It's basically a way to try to tweak your army list a little bit. Some of them are better than others. Some of them, the models are more vibrant than others. Some of them, the models are pretty much just the stock model with one extra bit thrown on. And your mileage may vary. Like the one for the UCM is basically the land striding drone ship.
Okay.
With a different command deck.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that because it's enough like the drone ship where my opponents aren't going to mind and probably won't even notice if I just field it as the drone ship. So I'm effectively getting 2 models for 1.
Nice.
Whereas some of the other ones, like the unique Scourge vehicle and the other UCM one, they're a completely new kit.
Yeah, I like the one they released for the Scourge. It's definitely new. I mean, you could definitely see it's a Scourge model, but I literally had to do a double take when I saw it because I know I never saw that before,
right.
And it's big and bad and scary, and yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's gonna be good stuff.
So go check those out if you haven't seen them already.
Yep. Hawk War Games. Also, sign up for Hawk War Games newsletter. That's where you're going to find out about their new stuff faster than you can get it here. Because we're going to know about it after they put it in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Pulp City is currently in the process of redesigning their website because they have to incorporate all the new shinies.
Yeah, literally their line tripled.
Yeah. I mean, in case any of you didn't follow the Kickstarter, they had so much luck that they went through everything everything in the initial release, and then, a whole bunch of stretch goals later, they passed everything they were expecting to release, and then they passed everything they were expecting to release, for the next year or so, and then they passed everything they expected to release for, like, the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that they probably had to buy a new contract from their web builder to have the product space to put on all the new stuff they're going to put on. So if you weren't in the Kickstarter, you can't actually get all of that yet because it's not up on the web store, but they're working on it. Is it completely down at the moment?
No, you can still,
Okay.
they have it running as a shell, so you can get the old web store. If you wanted to go in and get any of the pre-Kickstarter release models, those are all still available. If you wanted to go and look at the old models to figure out paint ideas, all of the old art is still available. The site is currently running in its pre-Kickstarter state.
Yeah, I had heard...
including a couple articles talking about what they're hoping to accomplish in the Kickstarter, oddly enough.
So they kind of need to update that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the shop a couple days ago, but that was probably just a glitch. But
yeah, they pulled it down to do a test, and then after they did the test, they put the shell back up.
So I expect to see the site looking pretty different. Some of the artwork that came out for the Kickstarter for the book was really awesome. So I think you're going to see some new imagery up there. You're obviously going to see lots of new shinies. I'm expecting like a fall redesign and whatnot. So that's probably going to look really, really nice.
Yep. And again, that site, we believe, because I've been talking to Devin about it, no hard and fast dates yet, but we believe it should be available probably before the end of May. So sometime in the next month or so, as soon as it goes up, we'll make sure to let you guys know.
And in the meantime, watch our draft later and see all the Kickstarter shinies in person.
So many models.
Lots of shinies, and yeah.
Okay.
All right, so on to some Kickstarter news. Speaking of Kickstarters, some more current Kickstarters. First of all, Dark Sword Miniatures is in the midst of a very short Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, I was really surprised because you're like, well, this thing's coming. I'm like, oh, okay.
Going up soon.
And then you're like, okay, it's got like 4 days left. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I literally sent him a text saying, hey, they said they're going to be launching a new Kickstarter. And then like the next day, or 2 days later, I was like, oh yeah, that Kickstarter's half done. It's like, what happened? They're literally running like a 1-week Kickstarter.
Yep.
They are expanding the Critter Kingdom series. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they have a whole line of miniatures that are anthropomorphic animals. Pretty much an entirely medieval period fantasy scenarios. Characters, mostly like the D&D classics and stuff like that, but they do a fantastic job. The sculptor, this is all going to be one sculptor, and I forgot to look up his name, I apologize. But the sculptors that do the Critter Kingdom, they do a phenomenal job. A little bit stout, but look really, really good. And so if you like anthropomorphic animals and you have medieval fantasy, they're really, really nice. They do all kinds of things in this kingdom. They have, I saw a star-nosed mole. I've seen an anteater. I've seen, and of course more common things like badgers and whatnot, really all kinds of crazy stuff. This particular Kickstarter is focusing on, what they're trying to do is they have hodgepodge critters so far. They, so if you want to play an entire team in one species, you can't really do it yet. You might have, a rabbit fighter and a turtle rogue, but you don't have enough to do an entire team in one animal.
You can't do the rabbit strike team? You
cannot yet do the rabbit strike team. But this is what they're trying to start to resolve with this Kickstarter. This Kickstarter is going to expand the mice and rabbits lines of the Critter Kingdoms.
So you can do an entire rabbit strike team.
So now you will be able to do an entire rabbit strike team. You will also be able to do an entire mouse strike team. And then they're going to try and keep doing that. They're going to try and expand each family of animals at a time. So if you're into anthropomorphic animals, especially if you're into mice or rabbits, go check that out. It is so short, it's ending like Tuesday. It's already been up for 3 or 4 days before we got to a Sunday News to tell you about it.
So go in, take a look at it now while you have time.
So you don't have time if you're into that.
Yeah, if you're into mice and rabbits, now is a good time. So are you getting like a rabbit strike team since you already have half of the rabbits anyway?
I like the rabbits, but I gotta tell you, the mice are also really, really cool.
Nice.
I've always been a big fan of mices also, and some of the sculpts on those are really, really nice. And they, by the way, they do a swashbuckler for every animal.
Well, you got to.
You got to.
I want a swashbuckling star-nosed mole.
I don't know if they have that one yet, but I can check. But, so, I don't know. I gotta take a look. They both look really, really, really nice, and I really have too much backstock. And oh my goodness, you people are killing me.
I'm just glad that this is one that I'm probably going to be able to get a pass on. I mean, I'm not saying that anthropomorphized animals is not a cool aesthetic for minis. I'm not saying that this is not a good game. In fact, there's actually a couple good games out there that use anthropomorphized animals for your armies.
There are some games that specifically use that.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a market for it. It's a good market. It's a good reason to run a Kickstarter. They're good models. I'm just not in that market, so I actually get to save my money for, Terminator Genesis, which is going to bankrupt me. So
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So also Kickstarter, big news.
Oh yeah. Actually, I lied. This is what I'm saving my money for.
Okay. All right. Another thing you got to go into Kickstarter and look for is a Kickstarter called Tiko. Tiko. Tiko, the unibody 3D printer. If this works, this could revolutionize home 3D printers and a lot of what we do over in the gaming industry. It is, like I said, it's a unibody 3D printer. It's not terribly big. It's a desktop 3D printer. Yeah. It's like
I don't even think it's that big, honestly.
Yeah, it's like it's like a small kitchen appliance.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the
from what I can see, and I don't have the measurements on it, but the thing looks to be about the size of like a 3-liter bottle of soda.
Yeah.
Like it's not terribly large.
It's not very big. But it can actually make big things considering its size. I mean, like we said, it's only like that big around. It can sculpt like up to here.
Yeah, because of the unibody construction, the entire area of the plate is available for sculpting.
Yeah, it can make something like this big.
Yeah, also one of the advantages of it being a unibody design is knowing people, and he actually goes into this pretty well in the video, but knowing people that have been doing some 3D work, one of the hardest things about the 3D work is the fact that you have to keep adjusting and readjusting the machine, because it's a bunch of pieces that torsion off of each other to move the components.
Okay.
Which means the machine twists itself. And if it twists itself and it comes out of a true alignment, whatever you were sculpting ain't happening.
Is trashed.
Right.
This actually has like a 3-arm. I really can't do that because I don't have 3 hands. Because I don't have 3 hands. Okay. It's got like a 3-arm thing that just kind of
And because it has it's a triple axis, so it actually controls it really well.
Yeah.
Due to the unibody construction, the device itself is very stable, very sturdy. Cuts down a lot of the tuning time and a lot of the difficulty in learning from it. The machines weren't that expensive. They were.
I think they were running for like $1.75, maybe.
For
the Kickstarter?
Yeah, because it was like $150 for the early bird ones, which are way gone.
Which are way gone. They were gone like an hour in.
Basically, what they keep doing at this point is they know how many they can manufacture with the facilities they have a month. So, as they get close to filling up a pledge level, they open up a new bracket, which is the same amount of money. Yours is just getting delivered the next month down the line.
But it can handle a pretty small bead, so you can get some pretty fine.
Was it point? It was what, 5 microns? I think.
I think something.
5
like
microns,
that,
which is 0.05 inches.
Yeah.
That's actually. That's really fine.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
That is small enough to do figures, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hence,
children of all ages.
Possibly revolutionary. So it can go very, very fine. It is, if I remember correctly, cordless.
Yep.
So it really can sit anywhere it needs to.
Well, it has a cord, but can run off of a battery as well.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like a rechargeable.
Yeah, it has a solid state battery in it.
Yeah.
You can charge it. Then, if you need it to be able to operate on the go, because why would you be sculpting on the go?
But it's portable, so like it's ultra portable, so you can. It also, I mean, it even has safety features. You know, we mentioned how small and upright it is. If you tip it, it will stop, so that it can't, you know, I don't know, squirt you in the eye with hot goo or whatever it would do. But apparently, this is an important safety measure thing. But I mean, it looks incredible. It looks amazing.
It's very high tech. Very nice.
I know Second Class Elitist is talking all the time about, oh, I'd love to have 20 of these, but you know, I can't really buy them. You know, like, oh yeah, I can mold and cast them, or I don't know. I don't believe it has any scanning capabilities worked into the Kickstarter at all. But
trust me, if you're into 3D printing, you already know 30 or 40 different ways to get anything scanned, or to be able to find downloads of things that people already scanned. And that's not going to be the trick.
Right.
The trick was being able to produce something at home that was a quality where, well, you'd actually freaking use it.
Right.
So,
but I mean, they put a couple samples up there that looked really, really good. So, I mean, again, this could do unbelievable things to the gaming industry, as well as, of course, other aspects of the 3D printing industry in general. So if you were thinking of getting a home one, this is, I mean, budget-wise, not shabby.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, you've probably thrown more than $175 away on this hobby in other ways already. So
this month?
Yeah. No, I think that's just me and Telegraph 97. But aside from that, I mean, like, literally, this is something where, even if you just use it to make terrain pieces, like where you don't need the detailing.
Crates!
Yeah.
More crates!
More crates. Always more crates.
More piles of crates.
But I mean, I think this is something
Jersey barriers.
Jersey barriers, yes. This is
and there's got to be programs out there. Endless old terrain bits.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is something that maybe not every gamer, but every club or every store owner should really look into, because... I mean, we always talk about how difficult it is to reproduce certain bits. We always talk about how difficult it is to reproduce emblazons for terrain pieces. Like, if this winds up saving you that money alone, $175 is going to be worth it. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's still got a couple weeks left. They're doing a whole month-long Kickstarter for that. So definitely go check that out. And, wow. I'm thinking of getting one. I'm just saying.
I split mine.
Oh, okay.
Because, I already have...
You already...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For February 2016.
Oh, okay.
That's the bracket I'm in.
I can wait that long.
Yeah. I would have been in, the November bracket, except I kept waiting, trying to convince myself not to do it.
And failed.
Yeah.
I think that's wise.
I can quit anytime I want. All right.
After I make 5,000 jersey barriers and crates.
A table of nothing but jersey barriers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't get anywhere that way. All right, so that is the majority of it. As for convention news or whatnot, most of them already happened, but Salute is being prepared for all across
the
Merry
UK.
Old England.
If you're in Merry Old England and you're a gamer, you want to get to Salute because everybody that's producing anything worth buying will be at Salute.
It's huge. Everybody's prepping for it. It's going to be big. There's going to be lots and lots of stuff.
There's a whole bunch of new stuff coming out. I just lost the name of the game. Route 666. I don't remember the first half of the name. Demos of the vehicles are going to be available. Do you have your old notes?
I do not have my old notes.
Okay. So anyway, that game that I'm currently doing playtesting for that I can't remember the name of. We'll have some vehicles available.
This is why he likes to be able to edit things.
Yeah, this is why we normally edit shows. Because I say stupid things all the time. So they're going to have some models available at the ProDOS booth. There's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff that's going to be available from Warplock, which I won't be able to pick up, which has me sad, because I'd buy an airline ticket just to get Alex's stuff faster. He's also going to be doing a new table.
Okay.
Because, he had one for Salute last year when he couldn't sell stuff, so he has a brand new table, which means, I guess, the demo table that he had last year never actually made him any money. But that's okay.
Okay.
Because it's pretty.
So yes, unfortunately, plane tickets to the UK are a little bit more than shipping. So
depends on the size of your order there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But anyway.
Well, you weigh how many kilos? Actually, you get a pretty good discount on your own weight.
I think I might actually weigh less than the Pulp City order we got. I'm just saying. And that had to come all the way from Poland, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got that. Infamy is going to have a bunch of models up. Everybody's going to have models up. Go to Salute. All right, so I mentioned everybody's going to have models up.
Yeah, we do have one tiny bit of bad news.
Anybody that was hoping they'd be able to pick up their Alien vs. Predator stuff at Salute is not going to be able to because it's not going to be released yet. So, and now we can move on.
Yeah.
Basically, they did not get permission in time. They did not get final release in time to be able to print the books. Therefore, they don't have rule books for even the tabletop game, the board game, finished yet. And as they do not have rule books for the board game finished yet, they're not allowed to sell the board game yet. So that means they can't, in fact, sell anything because they can't sell anything until they can sell the board game.
But rules?
You are not the first person to make that argument. It's an IP thing, apparently.
Yeah.
It is what it is. They're playing by certain rules.
From the beginning.
Yeah, they're playing by certain rules, and none of us are really happy with them.
And those rules apparently say that you're not allowed to start painting your stuff before we've officially released everything.
So when the models can be released, they will be.
They will, honest, promise.
Yarrick is going on rants showing us boxes and boxes of finished models.
That we're not allowed to have yet. They're there, and we're still not allowed to have them.
Yeah, so as soon as we can get them, trust me, I've got a ton coming.
Sad.
And nobody wants to see this get released more than me. And yet, nobody's going to see it at Salute. However, stop by the AVP booth.
Anyway.
Stop by ProDOS. Check out the new vehicles for Route 666. Check out some of the new Warzone stuff that's coming out. All of the Imperial models will be there. I have not seen the new Wolfbanes in their entirety. I have seen bits and pieces of units here and there. Merrick is going to have to sell a kidney. He's not getting one of mine. I have a cabinet full, and they're saved.
Of kidneys?
Yes. I have a cabinet full of kidneys that I'm saving to sell for Terminator Genesis. I've told you. He's not allowed to
They're
steal...
not all his, in case you're
I never sell my own. What? I need those. So he's not allowed to sell any of my kidneys. He's got to go harvest his own. But if you play Warzone and you play Imperial, you're going to buy another Imperial army because the Wolfbanes are that good. Right. So Space Highlanders. Space Highlanders. All right. So now the moment you've all been waiting for. They have. Always. Okay. It's the best part of the show. Show and tell. I love show and tell. So I'd already shown you guys some of this model, and if you follow me on Facebook in a couple of the forums I'm in, like 1 hour a night, which, by the way, you should join because it's a great motivator, and you get to see a lot of people doing a lot of cool stuff. But I had started on my Rosie Rude model before we got the Pulp City stuff done because I couldn't wait. Because I have a problem, but I can quit anytime I want. And so, I am entirely blaming the basing for this model on Mr. Justin. Sir, I hate you, I despise you, and thank you very much. Show them what you mean, sir. Alright, so this is a custom base where I literally had to practice masonry to be able to build this model. No lie, folks, that brick wall was constructed entirely by hand from the ground up. Literally from the ground up. So, I mean, not the most dynamic of dynamic bases, but... It's pretty dynamic. It's got a good look to it. Rosie's abilities are all about pushing models and forcing them around areas. Okay. So I wanted to try to demonstrate that brute force on the base. It is your call if she just Kool-Aid manned right through the wall or if she swung at someone that she knocked through the wall. And then turned around. Well, and then followed through the hole. Well, my vast detective and CSI skills are telling me that the thing definitely came this way, that the bricks are all bent this way, and they're all laying on this side of the wall. Yeah, see? So, look at that. Clearly, physics are saying it went through that way. A lot of physics on that base. But then apart from that, of course, you have Rosie herself, who is, a big bad broad in the awesomest sense. You can see here she's sporting... what are probably her finest Timberlands. And she is actually swinging an I-beam like a baseball bat. Because, well, she can. I'm just going to put this model here on the rotisserie as well, just so we have a understanding of size. Because it's tough to see in the camera, but this is a... big and bad she really is. This is a Reaper Miniatures 28mm figure, and he doesn't come up to her shoulder when she's not standing straight up. So she's big. Powerhouses in this game are big. Yes, and she is a powerhouse, and that's why she's that big. There is also a fluff reason. It's not like they just randomly made a human being larger with no explanation. There is an explanation that you can go read in the rulebook. And Deuce has imitated the tattoo work that is showing on her in the book. But I believe the bumblebee stripes on her wrist guards were entirely yours. Can't take full credit for that. There was even though I probably would have done it anyway because of my love of bumblebee striping. Bumblebee striping. She was painted that way on a model that was shown in the Kickstarter, even though that's not the full artwork. Oh yeah, there was a little bit of it on. Yeah. And here, if we can see, there is the rose tattoo and the Rude on the center of the chest. So, more will be coming. So that is our first official Pulp City model being showcased for you there. And 4 official painted points on our LXG Wall of Shame. Yay, which is about to be recalculated after we do the draft. 50mm base, so that is in fact 4 points worth of painted models. which does not bring my total that I need to paint down below 500 right now because Marek and I went stupid and got large Dropzone Commander armies and got into Flames of War, so I have a large amount of Germans.
And it is still over 500 now, and we have not yet added Pulp City numbers because we don't know the exact numbers until after the draft.
Yeah, so...
So, that's... might not quite be 600.
Actually, I realize that I'm kind of cheating because I never added up our Dropzone Commander points that I'm currently painting, so at the moment...
Oh, okay, so you're just waiting until you were done them.
Right. So that my to-do doesn't go up.
At all.
Yeah, my to-do doesn't go up, but my to-done skyrockets, so I'm okay.
Alright, so there you have it. Some very interesting Kickstarters and some other cool news going on. And, of course, our lovely Rosie over here, who is ready to chaperone the draft.
Yay!
And make sure nobody gets too fresh.
That's okay. Actually, I believe that Token Gamer Chick is going to have her ARC mascot with her.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I know some of you are concerned as to what that means. Now you're going to have to watch the draft, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to have to wait. We're not going to tell you. You're going to have to watch the draft so you can meet the mascot and see some of the other interesting shenanigans we have planned for that.
Semi-automatic fire.
All right.
Semi-automatic fire.
You think we can? All right, so there you have it. There's the news for this Sunday. I am Ali Alcatraz.
Second class elitist. Behind the camera is Token Gamer Chick. She just waved at you. Not that you can tell.
Yeah, see, look.
Behind the camera.
Wave reflect.
There we go. All right, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're going to go upset some friends and make things difficult because this draft... The fifth person in the draft texted me earlier today, and he was like, so I'm going to be interested in trying to do some, trade early picks for getting 2 and 3 rounds later on because I want more models than I have picks for. And I'm like, yeah, ain't happening, mate. Everybody does. So this is going to get interesting.
So hopefully this will be,
if you want to see some shenanigans and you want to see some undercutting and you want to see some dirty dealing... I'm not going to say that every round is going to come down to fisticuffs, but before this is over, I can guarantee you somebody's getting shot. All right. Have a good night, everybody, and we're going to go see you in the other room.
He is calling out for souls, and in dreams he will promise.